two methods for putting couplers on these little locomotives. The first and easiest is to mount it directly into the box as designed. It only requires a self-tapping screw, coupler, short shank, possibly a little clean out of flash from the hole to make sure that you don't break this as you're driving the screw into it. And the center of the coupler, I have put a small piece of tubing, styrene tubing, that would be just to give it a bit of a bushing so that it doesn't flop around so much. The other method is to body mount it using the KD box. I use the whisker head KD box. I really like those. Gets mounted by cutting out a section of the coupler box as designed and then mounting a coupler box inside. Once the coupler box is mounted inside, you have to shim to get it to the same height as the frame, as you will be notching out the frame so that you don't interfere with the coupler. And the KD box will be a little too long, so you need to cut it about the exact same size as the frame here, just so that it sits back, being cautious to preserve the notches that are inside this KD box, just so that the top snaps back down with the screw sitting in there. You can use a self-tapping screw, or you could drill and tap all the way through the styrene and to give yourself a coupler point from there. Here are a few pictures of me putting and mounting it into this position. Another one that I tried but I didn't like, but you might, is I took and I mounted it directly to the frame while still notching out the top of the coupler in here. What I found is I was moving it in and out all the time, that the coupler was constantly interfering and not sitting square anymore. So you don't get quite the nice look. You see here it's got a very nice look. The advantage there just looks a little more prototypical, but ideally to be prototypical it would even have to be mounted further back into the body, but there's just not enough room with these wheels, and it would just interfere with the wheels. The advantage of this one, leaving it long, is that you have you can run a tighter radius with a car farther out in front of you without having to put a long shank on there, but you have both options regardless.
Next time, we'll look at some power and weight options for these locomotives.